Welcome back to the Triple M podcast where we talk about movement, mindset, and motivation. And today's episode, we're going to talk about how consistency beats intensity. So, if you've been following me for some time, you know I'm a big advocate for being consistent because I believe that in every single walk of life, not just fitness, consistency is the key to success. And I'm going to talk about today how consistency can literally propel you forwards in your health and fitness journey. So, unpopular opinion, but I believe consistency triumphs all. So, like, you can go to the gym, you can train really, really hard, you can see results, but a lot of the time, people sprint before they walk or they crawl. So, I believe over time, if you're consistent over an extended period of time, that will triumph the level of intensity that you bring. Health and fitness isn't just a 12-week fix and a transformation, then just forget about it and just go back to old habits. It's a lifelong trip, it's a lifelong journey, and it's important to kind of maintain and sustain those habits for a long duration of time because health and fitness, I believe, is a lifelong trip and it's a lifelong journey. So if you kind of shift your mindset to more of a long term sort of thing, I think that will benefit you massively in the long term. Not just thinking about, okay, I've got a holiday in 6 weeks, I need to get really, really shredded. But then after my holiday, I just go back all to my old habits. Then you're back at square one. So, like, I've got a few examples of people, I won't obviously name any, but like individuals that I've kind of come up with. They've not always been the most gifted, the most talented, not even the strongest, but they've been the most consistent for years on years on years, and they've surpassed everyone. So that for me is an amazing example of how even where at certain points and times in your life you may not be where exactly you want to be, but if you stick at it, you stay consistent and you continuously do the work long term, you will triumph. And those individuals that for those short periods of time they really go for it, they really sprint, are falling behind. So it just goes to show consistency, in my opinion, definitely beats intensity. The person who's willing to walk and just keep going and going and going and going and not to stop will beat the person who wants to sprint. It's kind of like a marathon and 100 meters, right? You've just got to keep going. You don't just stop after you get to your first like checkpoint. You just keep going and you keep going. And over time, things might not always go the way that you planned. But if you stick to something, you kind of take time to reflect and evaluate, okay, what's gone wrong? How can I improve? And just get back on the horse. You will continually move in a forward trajectory. I said this a little bit just now, but like health and fitness isn't a 12-week fix. Yes, you might want to improve yourself quickly, which you can do. Like even myself, I have the capability to help someone transform and make and see massive changes and amazing results in a short period of time. But shift your mindset towards life because you always want to be able to be flexible, you want to be mobile, you want to be active, you want to be healthy. And that's just not something that just stops and starts. It's something that you want to sustain for your whole entire life because yes, your goals, depending on what age you're at or what place you're at, might be I really want to look good. I want to feel good. I want to look good on the beach. I want to feel more confident and comfortable. But as you get towards the older years and your later years of your life, your goals will shift from, okay, I want a six pack to now I want to be able to walk in my 90s. I want to be able to still be active. I want to still be able to do the garden. I still want to be able to drive. When you're in your mid 20s, those might not be your goals. But if you look at anyone over the age of 70 and 80 that's still able to do those things and they're fully capable, they don't need wheelchairs or walking sticks. No disrespect to any of those people, but I find that very, very inspiring that their health and their fitness is something that is lifelong and their later years in life are not as maybe strong and as active as and flexible, but they're still active, right? A lot of people in their 80s and their 90s are literally on their deathbed. Like I said, no disrespect to any of those guys, but just like I find it so inspiring that people that are able to get to that point in their life and still be able to do all the things that they want to do. I think to me, that's the goal. Do you know what I mean? You just want to be able to keep going and just kind of going back to that long-term mindset. Just keep going. It sounds simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Just keep going. The things that you're doing that are helping you to make positive impact and positive change are things that take time. They're not just that. Just keep going. When it comes to being consistent, there's a few things to think about. It's things such as what keeps you consistent, whether that's exercise, food, that sort of stuff. Because those are the things that people tend to struggle with. Oh, I can't stick to an exercise program. I can't stick to a diet. And I think the best plan and the best action points or the actions that you can take are the things that allow you to keep going. And it's different for person to person. Like, some people may love the gym, some people may hate it. Some people may love eating healthy, good quality foods. Some people may not like it as much. And we'll start off with exercise, how you can be consistent with exercise. And I think, especially as someone that's worked in the industry this long, you'd probably expect me to say, oh, just stay in the gym. But not everyone likes the gym. I don't even like the gym half the time. But I like the effects. I like the benefits. I like how training makes me feel. I like how training makes me look. I like how training allows me to be the person who I want to be and do the things that I want to do. But think about it from your perspective, because I'm trying to relate to the people, not just myself. What types of exercise do you enjoy? Whether that's running, whether that's cycling, whether that's swimming, whether that's playing a sport. And I think the easiest way to stay consistent is to find something that you enjoy. And like, it's very easy to get caught up on Instagram and TikTok and social media with hundreds of professionals telling you, you got to train, you got to go in the gym, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to come from a different angle. If especially you're starting out and you've been struggling with your health and fitness for a long time, I would just say the best thing that you can do is just find an activity that you enjoy, because you're going to be more likely to do that. You're going to be more likely to stick to that. And the thing that you're likely or more able to stick to over a longer period of time is what's going to reap you the biggest reward. So just think about that and just kind of disconnect from what everyone else is saying. Just kind of forget the noise and just do what you want to do. Yes, as a professional, I will encourage you to train in the gym and do this and do that. But it's always goal dependent. Like, if you want to lose a little bit of weight and just feel better, you don't need to go to the gym to do that. You just need to do more activity, whether that's walking, any sort of activity, any sort of movement. Because a lot of the time, a lot of our health concerns come from a lack of. And if you go into the gym because you think that's the only thing that you should do and you don't stick to it, it's not going to change. So then just think about, okay, what can I do long term? What do I enjoy? Like, for me personally, I do like to train, but I like to box. I've recently started to take that up and I really enjoy it. It's a great way to stay fit. It's a great way to release some tension, release some stress, and just smash something that isn't a person. So that's definitely something that I would recommend doing if that's something that you're interested in doing. Find something that you enjoy. So then if we deep dive into food, not necessarily a deep dive, but if we go into food now, a lot of people struggle to eat well, whether that's expense, preparation, or just the sheer fact of just you can't be bothered to prep, or you find it difficult. What I would suggest is just like, think about healthy food options that you like and just put that together. Just because someone is telling you you must eat this way doesn't mean you have to do it. It's always goal dependent. And like, for me, when it comes to cooking, I'm quite lazy and I do tell people I can cook. And I can a little bit. Yeah, that's not something that you need to know. But a lot of the time, I may not have the time, probably an excuse. But having a lack of headspace will make you feel like you don't have the time. So what I do personally is I invest in a meal prep service, which is healthy, which is affordable, and the food tastes great. It doesn't taste like chicken and rice and broccoli that's under seasoned and just tastes bland. It tastes like a home cooked meal, but it's got all the nutrients and the macros that I need to give me the energy to function at work, give me the energy to function with my training sessions, and just really elevates my energy. And I can see a real difference in my body as well, just by making those small adjustments to your food. So I guarantee, if seeing a difference in your body is something that you want, changing the way you eat will make a massive difference. I've never struggled with training, but food is something that I have, because for whatever reason that is. Another point when we're talking about being consistent is just kind of rethink about what your goals are. And I talk about goals quite a lot. What do you want? Don't think about what you think you should want or what people say you should do. What do you want? Really think about that and start taking action steps towards that. And if you're not sure, speak to someone. Like, my DMs, my messages, my emails are always open to give advice, give support, and give help. And there's not always a price tag attached to it. And like something as simple as thinking about what your goal is can be difficult to kind of bring to the surface, because I've spoken to hundreds, if not thousands of people over the years of my experience regarding goals and objectives. And the biggest one that comes up, and it still comes up today, oh, I just want to lose a bit of weight. No, you don't. It's very rare that after speaking to someone and they've said that to me, that's the reason. You don't just want to lose a little bit of weight. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but this is just my opinion. You want to feel more confident. You want to feel more attractive. You want to be able to not wear a t-shirt on the beach. You want to be able to wear a bikini and feel confident. And you don't necessarily need to be lean and shredded to do that. But there's changes that maybe you need to make. It's just, how does that losing of weight, because weight loss comes up massively, so I'll just talk about that. How does that losing of weight make you feel? How would losing that weight make your life change? How would losing that weight improve the quality of your life? Those are the things that you want. You don't want the surface, you want what's beneath the surface. Then, just kind of rounding up the consistency beats intensity conversation, is track your progress. And I don't like to sound like a broken record, but I've said this a lot before, and sometimes it takes a few times for it to drill and hit home for people. Track your progress. So whatever you're working towards, track it. So if it is a weight loss goal, track your weight. And I would always recommend tracking your weight every single day. And it's not to kind of increase your levels of anxiety and make you feel bad, but tracking your weight once a week isn't accurate, because your weight fluctuates for I can't even speak, a wide variety of different reasons. Like, I'll drink this coffee now and I'll be heavier. Doesn't mean I've put more fat on. If I drink a litre of water, I will be heavier. Speaking for the ladies, if I'm on my cycle, my weight will be different. If I've ate close to going to bed, my weight will be different. If I'm stressed out, my weight will be different. If I haven't slept well, my weight will be different. If I've just broken down probably 5 or 6 reasons why your weight would be heavier and you haven't put on body fat. So next time you're weighing yourself, try to disconnect from, oh my God, I'm heavier, I'm doing crap. No, you're not. Like, you're human beings, you change, you adapt, you're very individual and unique creatures, and things change, and usually for a reason. So think about that next time you're weighing yourself. And the reason why I always say to people to weigh yourself daily is because your weight will go up, your weight will go down, but the best representation of if you're losing body fat is that at the end of those 7 days, figure out the average. I'm not a mathematician, please do it yourself, but figure out the average. And if the average weight has dropped from week to week, you are losing body fat. Don't think about day to day, because life changes on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes we don't have control. Sometimes we do. But as long as you consistently take the measures in place and see the average weight drop, then you're on the right track when it comes to losing body fat. And if you're not, it's not necessarily something to be negative about. I always say, try not to kind of have a negative mindset towards it. Take more of a reflective mindset. Okay, I haven't lost body fat this week. Why is that? Have I overindulged? Have I drank a little bit too much alcohol? Have I slept well? Oh, are the kids stressing me out? This, that. There's so many reasons, and don't just think, okay, it's up, I'm a failure. That's not what it's about. Also, the reason why I always say to track your progress, whether it's your weight, whether it's your progress in the gym, or just like taking pictures, is because that's what's going to keep you motivated. And for a lot of people, we're not patient, myself included, but I'm learning the skills of patience. If you can see yourself progressing in whatever way you want to progress, you will be motivated, and you will more likely be consistent to stick to the activities that you're doing, because you think what you're doing is working. Most people aren't willing to give it the time long term to see that something that they're doing is working, but it probably is working. They just haven't given it a lot of time. But also as well, just think about, what does progress mean to you, whatever it is, whatever field or realm of life it is. And as long as you're taking steps forwards, you're in the right direction. And remember, it's not a sprint. It's more of a marathon type of journey. It's long term. But just as long as you keep doing the right things that you need to do for you, 100% you'll see progress. It might be fast, it might be slow, but slow progress is better than no progress. So that's going to round off the conversation for consistency beats intensity. So I hope I haven't bored you too much in this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please share, please like, please subscribe. If you're listening to this on Spotify, please share, please rate it, give a review. If you're looking at it on YouTube, let me know what you think. Also, for upcoming episodes, let me know what you want to talk about, because this podcast, as I always say, is not for me, it's for the people. And I'm here to kind of speak about things that are going to help and benefit you guys. So, hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Until the next one, peace.